Hi everybody and welcome. I hope you had a great week. Lisa here. Today's video is going to be all about how to prepare for an interview. As you know, during the day I work as a corporate trainer, and at night I have a coaching practice where I help teachers prepare to get their first corporate job. So in my practice, one of the things that I've been noticing is that there are some gaps in knowledge for the teachers that I'm preparing to move forward. So today's videos with an S are going to be focused on how to prepare for an interview, and my specific focus is going to be around some of the key fundamental skills that I see are missing when I'm preparing you in my coaching practice. That was a lot to say. We're going to be focusing on the problems that I've been seeing. So the first thing that I want you to know, in the overarching rule about preparing for an interview, is you need to be clear about who you're interviewing with. So sometimes it will be the recruiter and other times it will be the hiring manager. And there's a difference in the way those two roles approach a interview. So let's start off by talking about the recruiter. So when you are preparing to interview with a recruiter, one of the first things that you need to know is their focus is on screening out all of the candidates who are not going to be a good fit, so that they can lock down and target the one that they want to put forward in the next round of interviews to the hiring manager. So because their focus is on screening people out for the most part, here are 3 things that you need to be really dialed in around in terms of preparing to interview with them. So the first thing that you need to be really dialed in on is understanding that when you're talking to them about qualifications, you need to be clear and succinct and completely aligned with that job posting. And many of you say to me, Lisa, that's really hard to do. I haven't figured out how to translate my teaching qualifications to corporate qualifications. So this is the dirty little secret that I want you to know. Qualifications are qualifications. It's how you communicate those qualifications that really makes the difference. So one of the skills that you definitely bring to the table as a teacher is your ability to understand, different skills, technology, information, and you take all of that and you break it down and make it easy for your students to understand. So when you go to the interview, even if you haven't figured out how to specifically translate your qualifications into corporate speak, right? What you want to do is just make sure that you understand what they're asking you to do in that job posting, and then you're going to explain how you do that very thing even in your current position as a teacher. So remember, your focus is on specifically the qualifications on the job posting. And if you can communicate that using corporate language, fantastic. That is best case scenario. If you can't, do your teacher thing. Do your teacher thing and figure out how the qualifications on the job postings align with what you already do, and explain that to the recruiter just the way that you would a student in your class. So that's the first thing that I want you to focus on. The second thing that I want you to focus on is when you are interviewing with a recruiter, one of the things that they want to do is they want to get a sense for your salary expectations. Take it from me, having been a staffing manager in the past, there is nothing worse than finding the perfect candidate, having them go through all the rounds of interviews, and the hiring manager is excited and the director is excited and the new team is excited, and then everybody finds out that the candidate is expecting, $30,000 above our very top offer for the position. So their job is, for the most part, to understand what your salary requirements are. Unfortunately, that is not the best case scenario for you. So what I want you to focus on is creating a statement that helps you delay sharing your salary expectations up front. The reason that you want to do that is because you don't really know what's required to do that job at the level that they want to have it done. And you will never know that until you actually talk to the hiring manager. So if you say, oh, I'm expecting between, $20,000 and $30,000, just making that up, of course, then you've kind of limited yourself. And when you start the negotiation, they can always come back and say, well, when I interviewed you the first time, you mentioned between 20 and 30,000. And you're thinking, oh my God, but that was before I understood. Like, you don't ever want to be in that position. So your second focus will be on creating a statement that allows you to authentically and easily defer sharing your salary expectations up front until you know more about the expectations of the job. The third thing that I want you to focus on, and that recruiters are focused on, is they want to make sure that they are not passing a problem on to the hiring manager. So what I mean by that is this. A hiring manager's worst nightmare is hiring somebody who's highly qualified but is a pain in the butt to work with, right? So the recruiter's job is to try to, figure out if you're that person, right? So the way that they typically will do that is they will ask you questions like, Lisa, can you tell me why you left teaching? And they're asking you that because they're hoping that you will open up around any problems that you had. Your focus is going to be on creating a positive and future focused answer. Under no circumstances should you ever complain about your old job, how hard it was, how difficult it was, how it drained you, even if that recruiter was a teacher at one time and understands where you're coming from. Trust me when I tell you, the purpose of that question is to see if you're that type of person, the type of person who whines and complains, and right? And even though it's not fair, it's not right, that's how it is, right? So when you're preparing for your interview with the recruiter, the three things that you need to do, and I'm going in reverse order, is one, make sure that you have an answer prepared for why you left your last position. Make sure that it is positive and future focused. Number two, you want to create a statement that allows you to delay sharing your salary expectations. And number three, you want to make sure that you're completely dialed in on how you can share your qualifications, even if you can't use the translated language. As teachers, you absolutely can communicate how you do what you do as a teacher, so that it matches or aligns with what they're expecting from you in whatever role you're looking for. So with that said, I think that's everything. I'm going to move on to the next video where I'm going to be talking about what you need to focus on if you're working with a hiring manager. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.